Hi everybody, welcome to Brelsford Family Homestead. I'm Darcy. Today we're going to be canning some apples. I'm pretty excited about this. I was blessed with some apples recently, and one of the things I had wanted to make this past fall with my apples was apple pie filling to can, and I did not get around to doing that. So today we're going to do that, and we're going to do that together. I'm going to be using the recipe found in this book, but I do want to share with you that this recipe calls for something called clear gel, which in my area I don't find in any stores, so it has to be bought online. But it's a contacting ball. It is actually optional. So because I don't really know much about it and what's in it, and I want to use this for a number of different things, maybe not even just pie, I can add my own thickener if I feel like it's needed when I make a pie. So I have a note written in here so that I don't forget when I want to make it again that it's optional. Ball is really easy to contact, and they will respond fairly quickly when you have a question about that, like substitutions or omissions. And the same thing with the Center for Home Food Preservation. They actually respond very quickly. So that's great. If you have any questions, reach out to them. So we're going to use this recipe. The first thing I need to do is core, peel, and slice 12 cups of apples. So I'm going to be using something called an apple machine. This is it right here. I think these used to be like $20 or something. I have no idea if that's how much they are now. I think most big box stores used to carry them, but you can also order them online, of course. I'll try to put a link to one below just in case. I've had this one for a really long time. My mom bought me and my siblings one of these many, many years ago, and it's still growing strong. So I'm sure you buy it once and you're set. So let's get started with these. This is pretty easy. There's a little lever right here that you pull and it releases this, and you bring it back. You do want this suctioned. It does have another option to screw it onto the counter. I have it somewhere. So you just put your apple on there. I like to do it with a baking tray of some kind here to just catch all of the mess, and sometimes there's some juice and then it's not running down the counter and also all over me. And just like that, you have it peeled, sliced, cored. You just pull this off and do another one. Now I do have a bowl here that has some lemon juice and water in it, and that is to prevent browning, and that's recommended in this recipe. So I'll just put it in here and get all of these done. Can you see that? Now, if you have really big apples, I have had some before that did not fit in here. So then you're gonna need to do it by hand, but they do make some attachments for KitchenAids and things like that that you can use as well. I do not have one of those. So if there is a spot, then I just take a small knife and make sure I cut that out. If I missed some peels, which does happen sometimes too, I also just take my knife and cut those off. I've got 12 cups of the apples already, and the next step is to take them out of here and blanch them for 1 minute. We're supposed to do it in 2 batches, so 6 cups at a time. So I already have my water boiling on the stove, and then my canner out. This is supposed to make 7 pints, so I have 8 pints just in case it's a little bit more in my steam canner, staying warm, and all of my ingredients. It doesn't take a lot of things. As I said, the clear gel is optional, but you can definitely use it. Just follow the directions in the book. It has cinnamon, nutmeg, apple juice, water, and lemon juice, sugar. So not a whole lot, probably things you already have on hand. Let's get these blanched. I almost forgot. I am putting these in my compost where my chickens will also eat them, but you can make apple scrap vinegar if you wish. I made so much of it last time, I don't need any more. It's not actually apple cider vinegar because it's not made by the process of apple cider. It's apple scrap vinegar. It is good, you can use it for cleaning and things, but it isn't used for canning, so I just don't need more, and this will be great for my compost and my chickens, but definitely make that if you never have before. It's pretty cool. I already drained most of the lemon juice water off of those apples. And I am just going to use this to blanch them. It'll be so much easier and faster than a slotted spoon. This is actually for my Instant Pot, but it's just like a steamer basket, and it fits in here perfectly. So I will put about half of these apples in this basket. Try not to make a mess. And then we'll blanch them for 1 minute. I think it also will help to not overcook these, because they're going to process for 25 minutes as well. I mean, of course, I'm not expecting to have firm apples once this is canned, but, I'm not looking for it to be applesauce by the time we're done either. All right. 1 minute, then we'll do the other half. While I'm waiting for those to be done here in a couple seconds, I do have this bowl here where I'm going to transfer them over, and I'm just going to use the lid for this to cover it because it just said to cover it in a bowl to kind of keep them warm until the next step. And I'm going to be using that stainless steel pot right behind this one when we're done to start cooking the other ingredients. Time's up. Try not to burn yourself. All right. Well, I am making a mess. I just spilled a bunch of water, but that's okay. Sticky water at that. That water is still good and hot, so I'm going to go ahead and set this for 1 more minute, and then those are all blanched. I'm going to move this one out of the way with a hot pad. I'll see if I got that on camera or not, but when your burner is still hot, even though it's off and you put your pot on there, it's going to get really hot. So when you go to put your apple juice in, it's going to be like, jeez. Okay, so I have all of my things measured out. We have our apple juice, which is going to make some noise now. Not too bad. The first time it was, and I spilled some. I had to remeasure. Sugar. Let's bring it closer. Then our water. And then we have cinnamon and nutmeg. And I did do fresh grated nutmeg, so I have that here. It was a half a teaspoon. And then we need 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Go ahead and turn that on. And we need to keep stirring it until it comes to a boil. And then we'll add our lemon juice, which I have right here. And then we'll bring it to a boil again. And then we will add our apples and just fold them in until they're heated through. And then we'll start jarring them up and our canning. The mixture is at a full boil now. Now this is a little different than if I added the clear gel because the clear gel is a thickener, so it would be getting thicker per the recipe. So it's at a full boil. We'll go ahead and add the lemon juice, bring it back to a boil for 1 minute, and then we'll fold in the apples. This smells so good. I just bought some organic apple juice that didn't have any added sugar, but that mixed with the cinnamon and the nutmeg. It smells so good. I'm not sure what all I will use for this. I don't make pies a lot, but I know I will use this in recipes, and my husband would definitely not complain if I did make apple pie because he does really like them. But in the past, I've always left that up to my mom because she makes amazing pies. Now, I noticed in the directions it did say to remove this from the heat, fold in the apples, and then heat it until the apples are heated through. So that seems a little strange because you're going to put it back on the heat, but I'm going to follow the directions. All right. 1 minute and we'll add the apples. Time's up for that portion. I am just going to add these apples with a slotted spoon. I did obviously take them with the colander out, but there could be some liquid left, and it does say to drain them. So, and also, just so I don't splash them everywhere and burn myself, I'm just gonna carefully take my big slotted spoon here, dump them in. I guess I could turn you down, huh? I've burnt myself making things like this more often than I'd like to admit, especially jelly. I got myself really good one time making peach jam. It like slid all the way down my forearm, well actually my wrist, but the length of that to my elbow almost. Had a good scar for a while. Sorry if that's loud, all that dinging and binging. All right, let's put this back. Those apples were kept hot in that bowl, so this is not going to take long at all to make sure these are heated through. Should we test one to make sure it's truly heated through? Why not? But it's gonna be real hot. All right. Ooh, that's good. Well, I guess we did our taste test early. Oh, wow. That's such simple ingredients, but that is super, super tasty. Wow. All right. Let's get canning. I've got pint jars here being kept warm in my steam canner. So we're going to fill these up with 1-inch headspace. Things like this, the headspace is so, well, headspace is always important, but things like this can really siphon and make a huge mess. Debubble that. I can see we're going to need to add some more. Let's see how much more. Well, not really. I'm going to just add a little bit of liquid. All right. Now, this stuff is sticky, of course, with all the apples, apple juice, sugar. So I've got some vinegar and water mixture there. Wipe that off good. Superb lids. So I don't burn my hand, I use a washcloth. Then fingertip tight. We'll put that in the canner. I got 6 pints, so that's 1 less than I expected. There's just a few bites left in there, so that's kind of a bummer. I did measure everything out right. I wouldn't think that the clear gel would make that much difference, but maybe I forget what the measurement for that is. But we're gonna add some more hot water. I had just boiled this, and then we will turn this on once it reaches up to temperature. These will process for 25 minutes. If you have never used a steam canner, I love mine. If you've been around for a little bit, you've probably seen me use it a few times. I will link a video here of when I first got this steam canner. It is so easy to use, and it takes so much less time to use as well, because you don't have this huge pot of water that you have to bring to a boil, get it to a rolling boil after you've put your jars in and all of that. So it takes less water, less time. There's less heat and steam in your kitchen. Can I get a hallelujah from everybody, especially us perimenopausal women? Phew. Wow. Okay, we're gonna let that bring up to temperature. Let's go ahead and taste test this again because there's some of the sauce in there and I wanna try that. Let me see if I can show you without dripping this everywhere. It's real, I'm not sure that focused, but You can't go wrong with that. That is delicious. I will definitely make this again. It'll just be interesting to see what all I can use that. And I mean, you could just use it on a topping on something. I mean, or I guess you could just open the jar and eat it. Why not? Your rules, right? I took a spoonful to Joe and he approved. He really liked it. So here's only like just a teeny bit left in here. So I'm gonna sit here and eat it because I can. Because I want to. When those are all done, I'll bring you back and show them to you. And then we'll wait 12 to 24 hours and check the seal. I'll show you if there's any siphoning or if any didn't seal or anything. We'll clean them off, label them, put them in the pantry. Okay, kind of strange but serious question for all my lady friends out there who have hot flashes or have had hot flashes. What have you done that helps you deal with them? I saw my mom this weekend and she gave me this. Oh, I love it. I do have wild yam cream. I am not using it right now. I do need to start again. I had to take a break using that. I don't have terrible hot flashes. I don't have them that often. I even went quite a while without having any. But they seem to be kicking back up and it's going to be hot soon. And I'm just thinking, whew, I need to figure out ways to deal with this. So I know this is an odd question on a canning video, but I think that a lot of you, based on my metrics or analytics, have been through menopause or are close to it like I am. So help a sister out. The time is up. I turned the heat off and let this sit for an additional 5 minutes according to the directions. It's time to take them out. That looks great. I will take these all out and sit them on a towel on a cutting board and let them just sit here for 12 to 24 hours. I'll bring you back to show you how they all turned out. It's time to check our jars. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? So they are sticky, which is common when you do things like this. There's a lot of times some siphoning, so they're sticky. So it's very important that you wash your jars off before you put them in the pantry. You don't want to attract any pests. You don't want to have mold growing on the outside, so wash them. I always wash with warm soapy water, and we're going to take the lids off too. So there was one I saw showed signs of siphoning. I don't know how well that shows up there. I think you can see it. See how you can see the apples kind of pulled up at the top there and the liquid level is down here. That is okay. It's still safe because we followed all of the directions. If the liquid was below half, then I would just use it immediately. But some siphoning is normal and that's okay. This is the only one that I have that's like that. You can shake it up so it's back down and kind of looks normal. The level is just a little low, but it is okay. I could use that one first. So we'll take the lids off, all of them. The rings need to come off. You don't store with the rings. And you can see that that lid is on, and also there's, I guess you call it like a button in the middle. If it was not sealed, you'd be able to push here and it would make a noise that it would pop up and down. This is sealed, but the best way is just grab hold of that and it will not come loose. That is sealed, so we can check all of them. None of them are not popped up, but this one's very sticky. You want to make sure you check them all really well. Nobody wants that messing around in their pantry. I also have some labels. that we'll put on. You know, I guess you're looking at these, it would be obvious to most what it is, but you may make some with different flavors, but also, you know, other people are probably getting things out of your pantry. They should. You're not the only one who can cook and prepare food, right? So I just have some labels here. I just happen to have a label maker, and so I printed those out, but you could just write with a Sharpie or something on there and label them with the month and year and what is inside. So I'm gonna get these all washed up and put in the pantry. I hope you guys will give this a try. This fall when I have more apples, I'm definitely going to be making some more of these. We'll see you next time. God bless.